You've been waiting for it. The promotion, the review, the moment your manager finally sits you down and tells you you're getting a raise. And when it happens, it feels like things are finally turning around. Like all those late nights, all that extra effort, it was worth it. But here's what nobody tells you on that day. That raise you just got? In 2026, depending on how it lands, it could actually leave you with less money than before. Not because your employer cheated you, not because of some mistake on your payslip, but because of a set of forces working quietly in the background that most employees never see coming. Today, we're going to break all of it down, clearly, honestly, and without the financial jargon. And by the end of this video, you'll understand something that most hardworking people never figure out until it's too late. I'm going to walk you through 3 specific traps that are activated the moment your income goes up. 3 things that work together to quietly eat your raise before you even notice it's gone. And I'm also going to show you exactly what the people who actually get ahead do differently. Because they exist, and it's not complicated once you see it. Stay with me, because the 3rd trap is the one that nobody talks about, and it's probably the most dangerous of all. Let's start with the most straightforward one. The moment your salary goes up, the government is the very first person to take a cut. Before you see a single extra dollar, taxes have already adjusted. Here's how it works. The US uses what's called a progressive tax system. That means the more you earn, the higher the percentage of that income goes to taxes. Your income is divided into brackets, and each bracket has its own rate. For 2026, those rates are 10%, 12%, 22%, 24%, 32%, 35%, and at the top, 37%. Now, most people hear that and think, okay, if I'm in the 22% bracket, I pay 22% on everything I earn. But that's not actually how it works. You only pay that higher rate on the money that falls within that bracket. The rest is still taxed at the lower rates below it. So far, so good. But here's where it gets interesting. There's a phenomenon called bracket creep. And in simple terms, bracket creep happens when your salary goes up, but the increase isn't really because you're more valuable. It's just because everything costs more, and your employer gave you a raise to keep up with inflation. On paper, you're earning more. In reality, your purchasing power hasn't moved at all. But the tax system doesn't know that. It just sees higher income and taxes it accordingly. The IRS does adjust tax brackets annually for inflation, and in 2026, those brackets moved up by about 2.7%. But here's the catch. The average pay raise in the US right now is around 3.5%, which sounds like it's beating inflation. But once you account for taxes, FICA contributions, that's Social Security and Medicare at 7.65% combined, and any state income tax on top of that, the actual take-home increase from that raise is often a fraction of what the number looks like on paper. Let me make this real. Imagine you're earning $60,000 a year and you get a 5% raise. That's $3,000 more. Sounds good. But after federal taxes, FICA, and let's say a modest state tax, you might actually take home somewhere between $1,800 and $2,100 of that $3,000. Nearly a third of your raise is already gone before you touch it. And that's trap number 1. The raise is always smaller than it looks. Now let's talk about what happens to what's left. Now we get to what I think is the most dangerous trap of the 3, because this one doesn't come from outside. It comes from you. It has a name. It's called lifestyle creep, and it is absolutely ruthless. Here's how it happens. You get your raise. You feel good about yourself, as you should. And naturally, Almost automatically, your spending starts to rise to match your new income. You move into a slightly nicer apartment. You upgrade the car lease. You start ordering food delivery more often because, hey, you can afford it now. The gym membership that felt like a luxury a year ago is now just a normal monthly expense. The subscriptions add up. The weekly treats become habits. None of these things feel like big decisions. That's the whole point. Lifestyle creep is described by financial experts as a silent inflation because it happens without announcement, without drama, and without you realizing it until you look at your bank account 6 months later and wonder where everything went. The numbers here are sobering. According to research, the average American household now spends around $273 a month on subscription services alone, up over 400% from just a few years ago. We're talking streaming platforms, apps, gym memberships, meal kits, premium, everything. Each one individually feels affordable. Together, they're an invisible monthly leak. And the psychology behind this is well documented. Our brains are wired for something called hedonic adaptation. It basically means that whatever positive change happens in your life, a new apartment, a nicer car, a better phone, within weeks, maybe months, it stops feeling special. It just becomes normal, your new baseline. And then your brain starts looking for the next upgrade to chase that feeling again. So the raise that was supposed to change your financial position just changed your spending habits instead. And the crazy part is, this happens to incredibly smart, financially aware people all the time, not just people who are reckless with money. The trap doesn't care how smart you are. One research example that stuck with me. A person gets a 25% raise, a genuinely significant jump, and 6 months later, they're lying awake at 2 a.m., wondering where all the extra money went. The nicer apartment, the weekly meal deliveries, the shopping sprees that somehow became routine. The raise never made it to savings. It never made it to investments. It got absorbed completely by a lifestyle that quietly expanded to receive it. Now here's a number that should genuinely alarm you. If you upgrade your apartment and spend just $800 more per month, money that could have been invested, over 20 years at a 7% return, that decision costs you over $500,000 in compound growth. $500,000 from one apartment upgrade. That's the real cost of lifestyle creep. Not the extra $800 a month. The $576,000 you'll never have. Quick pause. If this is already connecting with you, hit subscribe right now, because this channel exists to show you exactly how the financial system works in plain language. Now let's get into the third trap, because this one is the deepest. So taxes took their cut. Lifestyle creep took its cut. But there's a third force at work here, and it's the one that truly explains why people can earn more every single year and never actually get ahead. It's the inflation gap. Here's the reality of where we are right now. From January 2021 to mid-2025, average wages in the US grew by about 21.8%. Sounds impressive. But over that same period, the Consumer Price Index, the measure of how much everyday things cost, rose by 22.7%, which means in real terms, after adjusting for inflation, the average worker's purchasing power actually went backwards. Wages went up, but not enough. The cost of living went up faster. And this isn't just an American problem. It's a global one. The pattern is the same across most economies. The nominal number on your payslip goes up. The actual value of what that money buys you doesn't keep pace. Now think about what this means for your raise specifically. In 2026, inflation is running at around 3.3%. The average pay raise is around 3.5%. So after taxes eat into your raise, after lifestyle creep absorbs whatever is left, and then after inflation quietly erodes the purchasing power of your entire existing salary, you are effectively running on a treadmill, moving, working hard, going nowhere. And to make it even more uncomfortable, the cost of living isn't rising equally across categories. Housing costs, in particular, have surged far beyond general inflation. According to data from early 2026, in most major American cities, you now need 6 figures just to live comfortably. New York requires nearly $159,000 for a comfortable lifestyle. Even in the most affordable major cities, you're looking at over $80,000. These are not luxury living numbers. These are just comfortable. So your raise isn't just competing with the tax system. It's not just competing with your own spending habits. It's competing with an economy where the fundamental cost of living is rising faster than most salaries can realistically keep up with. Now, I want to say something that might feel uncomfortable, but it's important. None of this means you shouldn't negotiate hard for raises. You absolutely should. Fight for every dollar your employer will give you. That's not the point. The point is that if a raise is the primary strategy you're relying on to build financial security, you are playing a game that is structurally designed for you to lose slowly. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because the rules of the game mean that by the time taxes, lifestyle creep, and inflation are done with your raise, the actual improvement to your financial position is often minimal. The wealthy understand this at a fundamental level. That's why they don't build wealth through raises. They build it through assets, through money that works for them while they sleep, through income that doesn't require them to trade more hours for more dollars. A raise gives you a slightly higher ceiling. An asset gives you a floor that grows over time, regardless of what your employer decides. The middle class chases the ceiling. The wealthy build the floor. That one difference over the course of a working life is the entire explanation for why 2 people can start from similar positions and end up in completely different financial realities. So what do you actually do with this? Because I'm not going to leave you with just the problem. First, treat your raise like it doesn't exist for 30 days. Before you upgrade anything, before you adjust any spending, sit with your new income for a full month. Let the dust settle. Then look at where you actually are. Most people upgrade instantly and never stop to think. The 30-day pause breaks that reflex. Second, automate your wealth before lifestyle creep can touch it. The single most effective thing anyone can do after a raise is to immediately increase their automated savings or investment contributions by at least 50% of the after-tax raise. Before the money hits your account in a way you can spend it, route it somewhere it can grow. Your future self will not remember the extra coffee or the streaming upgrade, but they will absolutely feel the difference that invested money makes in 10 years. Third, understand the difference between a cost of living raise and a wealth building raise. A COLA raise, a cost of living adjustment, is your employer trying to keep you at exactly the same real income as before. It is not a reward. It is maintenance. A true wealth building raise is one that meaningfully outpaces inflation and taxes combined. Most raises in most years are not that. Know what you're actually getting before you celebrate. Fourth, and this is the most important one, stop treating your salary as your primary financial strategy. Your salary is your starting point, not your destination. The people who actually build wealth treat their job income as fuel, and they use that fuel to build something outside of their job, a side income, an investment portfolio, a skill that creates value independently of any employer. something that produces returns without requiring them to show up on Monday morning. A raise alone will not change your financial life, but a raise that is used intentionally, protected from taxes where possible, protected from lifestyle creep, and redirected into assets, that is a completely different story.
The next time someone tells you they got a raise and they feel like things are finally going to change, you'll understand why they might be disappointed in 6 months. Not because they're bad with money, but because nobody explained to them that a raise is just raw material. What you do with it is what actually matters. Now you know what most people find out too late. 3 traps: taxes, lifestyle creep, and inflation, all waiting to absorb your raise before you even notice. And now you know exactly how to protect yourself from all 3. If this video gave you something to think about, subscribe, because every single video on this channel is built around one idea: understanding how money actually works so that you stop being surprised by it. No jargon, no lectures, just the truth, clearly. The next video is going to go even deeper into the system that keeps hardworking people financially stuck, and more importantly, how to step outside of it. You don't want to miss it.